guys, Comic Boom here to review Wonder Woman issue 46 in a new story arc called The Dark Gods Part 1. Guys, those of you who are following DC's Metal that ended about a month ago might be aware, but if you're not, I'm going to tell you right now that it was Wonder Woman who was warned in Metal that the Dark Pantheon of Gods were coming. And so it was sort of teased earlier that we were going to be getting a darker set of gods entering into the DC universe, and smack dab, here we are. They're infiltrating Wonder Woman's world here in this new story arc. And I believe, my view, this is a welcome thing. This is a good thing for the pages of Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman's Greek gods are very, very boring. Greg Rucka's Rebirth had all the gods be like, they were like Bambi and friends. They were like an owl. They're like the cute little animal kingdom, like you were watching a Disney movie. Couldn't be more boring. I'm so glad that we're getting a darker pantheon of gods here, so that Wonder Woman, so just restore some chaos. This idea, I mean, even Ares is boring as hell. He's trapped on Paradise Island because he's given up his warlike ways. How boring is that? Comic books are supposed to be about good guys and bad guys and some drama. So it's nice that James Robinson in this next story arc is maybe leading the charge to bring a dark pantheon of gods into Wonder Woman's universe. Now, another good thing about this issue, James Robinson does a really good job of basically introducing all the characters that we were introduced to in Greg Rucka's Rebirth run. I mean, we meet up again with Veronica Cale, Dr. Poison, Dr. Cyber. Also, we meet Glaucus again, Jason's father or stepfather of Jason and the Argonauts. We also meet up with the Cheetah. She plays a big role here. A lot happens in this issue. You know, it's funny because over the last, James Robinson started his run, I believe, in issue 32, and I think for like 15 issues, it was very slow going, and last issue ended with Darkseid losing his memory, and he's a wandering amnesiac, so we still don't know where Darkseid is, but with Darkseid gone, the Greek gods sort of not really playing much of a role, this universe, the DC universe, is open for darker gods to take over and enter the dark pantheon of gods here. So this is quite interesting to see where this is going to head. Now, what is fascinating here is that the entire world is influenced by this dark pantheon of gods, because what happens is that Veronica Cale, who, a long story short here, Veronica Cale wants to get revenge on the Cheetah because the Cheetah tried to kill Veronica Cale at the end of Greg Rucka's run. I won't get into it, but suffice to say that there's no love lost between Veronica Cale and the Cheetah. Veronica Cale orchestrated things early on when Veronica Cale was being blackmailed by the twin demon sons of Ares, Phobos and Deimos, to locate Themyscira. One of the ways that Veronica Cale did that was to manipulate Barbara Minerva to become the Cheetah again, even though it would drive her insane, because when Barbara Minerva becomes the Cheetah, she becomes possessed by the jungle god Urshkatarga, if I think I said that right, Urshkatarga, and she sort of loses it. She kind of goes a little bit insane, and so the Cheetah doesn't like Veronica Cale for that reason. Barbara Minerva doesn't. Barbara Minerva, Cheetah, they got that split personality going on. Veronica Cale pushed Dr. Cyber away. Veronica Cale used to be friends with Adriana, who ultimately, in a scheme to try to manipulate Wonder Woman, became sort of fused with some computer programs and became Dr. Cyber. And Dr. Poison is sort of Veronica Cale's tough girl, tough guy, military backup. All these things are coming into play again as the world begins to become possessed by the darker gods. Most people around the world begin to swear off their gods and to swear allegiance to the next gods, or to these new darker pantheon of gods. And this is embodied fully in the Cheetah, who awakes from her coma-like state, and she's swearing off the jungle god of Urshkatarga so she can get a clean slate in order to begin to worship these new dark pantheon of gods. And so that's where we begin to get a clue as to what's going on here, is that the power of these dark gods to sort of influence and to almost force all the people on Earth to sort of worship them. And the bulk of this issue has Wonder Woman fighting off the Cheetah, because the Cheetah wants to kill Veronica Cale, so Wonder Woman ironically is protecting Veronica Cale from the Cheetah again, which she's done in the past as well, while the Cheetah wants to clean the Cheetah wants to kill all her enemies in order to clean the plate, so to speak, so she can begin worshiping a new god, these darker pantheon of gods. Meanwhile, Jason has, for whatever reason, decided to find his stepfather Glaucus, and he did find his stepfather Glaucus, who was imprisoned by Kobra in a research lab that Kobra had near Montenegro. This really is a world-jumping story. One thing I got to give James Robinson for is that he jumps all over the place in his stories. His Wonder Woman stories really do involve places all over the world, from the jungle to New York to Boston to the Asian coast to the Asian Sea. I mean, it's all over the place. So this really is a full-body story. Unfortunately, most of the stories don't really hit too much, but there's a lot that happens in this issue again. The art, once again, is beautiful. Steven Segovia is the artist. Romulo Fajero Jr. is doing the colors again. This is a beautiful issue, beautifully drawn issue. A lot sort of happens here. What's James Robinson, it's almost as if James Robinson has heard some of the criticisms of his earlier arc. He crams a lot in this issue, and thank God, it's fine. It's really good. This is a good jumping on point, because you jump in, you were introduced to solid number of Wonder Woman villains. We're right away introduced to the plot point of the Dark Pantheon of Gods coming. Her brother Jason is rescued his stepfather Glaucus from Kobra headquarters in Montenegro, and we're moving ahead, and it ends on a cliffhanger, and the cliffhanger is boom, Supergirl attacks Wonder Woman. And why does she do that? It probably has something to do that Supergirl herself is probably possessed by the darker gods, because Kryptonians worship the god Ra. I think it's R-A-O. It's pronounced Ra anyway. The Kryptonians worship the god Ra. So if Wonder Woman is, if Supergirl is abandoning, she says Ra was dead, Wonder Woman, and you're next. So clearly something's going on here. Exactly where this story is headed, I don't know. Well, because we have No Justice that came out this week as well, and as you know, No Justice, or I encourage you to pick up No Justice. Brainiac has recruited all the superheroes and supervillains of the planet Earth and has broken them up into teams to try to fight the Omega Titans, who are almost like these celestials from the dark universe that are coming to basically try to feed off the various planets in the universe. And Brainiac is creating different teams: Team Wisdom, Team Entropy, Team, I forget what. There's two other teams in the Justice League in the No Justice series to try to fight. And there's a Team Wonder Woman's on a team to try to fight these Omega Titans, and basically to save the universe, and probably ultimately the multiverse. But in any event, how the dark gods are associated or affiliated with the Omega Titans, I'm not sure. How Darkseid's going to play into this, it's going to be interesting to know, because you just know that when Darkseid gets his memory back, Darkseid does not appreciate other gods, pushing their way in on his territory, because the darkest god we have in this universe is Darkseid. So Darkseid is not going to appreciate the darker pantheon of gods, and you can maybe already see how things are lining up for Wonder Woman to team up with Darkseid in the Justice League Odyssey series, which is going to be coming out post-July. So already I think you can maybe see things starting to take shape in the pages of Wonder Woman here. This is very interesting. Again, I hope things turn out well. The problem with James Robinson in the past story arc is 15 issues and nothing ever really felt. There was so much potential, but nothing really hit. There was never an issue where, bang, it was awesome, cool, epic fanboy moments. There just wasn't any of that. Everything ended on a whimper. Everything that could have been epic wasn't. And again, this is the same old story. So much potential in this, so many players, but let's see if James Robinson can do something with it, unlike his failure to do so in previous arcs. This is a good jumping on point for Wonder Woman. It introduces you to all her primary villains of DC Rebirth. You don't really need to get the previous issues. I think it's explained enough here. You meet her brother Jason's stepfather Glaucus. You meet Dr. Cyber, Dr. Poison, Veronica Cale, and the Cheetah as well. So this is a great starting point for a new arc, especially post DC Metal, going into No Justice, going into Justice League Odyssey, where ultimately Wonder Woman's going to be on a team with Darkseid and Starfire, and wow, it's going to be good stuff. So guys, check it out, and until next time, Comic Boom out.